2017, it is the beginning of a new year, so I thought we would do a wonderful collaboration of ideas and inspirations of destinations that you should go visit. Because I have two amazing other female travelers, Raya from Where I Was Here and Chris and Sarah from Hopscotch the Globe. So between the three of us, I think we've been to some pretty wicked places.
Definitely.
So we're gonna talk about them and hopefully inspire you with your future travel plans.
At the end of 2016, I went to Greenland, and it absolutely blew my mind. I had no expectations. I didn't really know much about the country, and went there, and I was just so blown away by the beauty. I felt cleaner. It like cleansed my body with the freshest air, the most delicious fresh water, really clean food, and also it felt like it cleansed my soul. It might sound a little cheesy, but it did. I felt like a new person when I got back. If you love nature, you love being outside, you have to go to Greenland.
Patagonia. I love Patagonia, so I went there at this time last year, and it was one of the most incredible experiences I've ever been to. It's actually far less difficult than you think it is to get down there. It's the bottom of Argentina and Chile, and locals do it all of the time. The biggest tip though is to like bring warm clothes, because even though you're traveling in January, February, it's their summer time. It's still cold. Like you're still wearing like toques and gloves and hats, but the mountain views are absolutely spectacular. I so highly recommend it. All of like South America is kind of like really cool, but Patagonia.
My first place is Morocco, where I went, I think over a year ago, but that was the first place I went that like was a big culture shock for me, because it's just so, before that I'd done like Europe and around America and stuff, but Morocco, just as soon as you literally like the drive from the airport, I was like, wow, this is like a different world, and it was so beautiful. Also, everywhere you look is picturesque, beautiful. You can take photos everywhere. The food is good, like the tiles everywhere. You're just gonna get like 500 Instagrams, and it's so easy to get to, especially if you're in Europe. It's so easy to fly there and cheap to get to, so highly recommend Morocco.
I am going to recommend Belize. Belize I've been to a couple of times. It's one of those destinations that I think is a little underrated. People go to Mexico all the time, but Belize is so close to Mexico. You can even combine the two destinations. The water is some of the most beautiful turquoise blue I've ever seen. There's a lot of underwater life, so if you love scuba diving or snorkeling, it's great. And just the laid back, chill vibes. If you want to relax and chill, eat good food, and go scuba diving and just being in the water, Belize is the place to go.
New Zealand. I always recommend New Zealand, especially if you are a first-time traveler, because it is so easy to travel. There's so easy to get around. There's dozens of hop-on, hop-off buses. There's whole infrastructure, hostel chains. There's buy and sells for travelers like looking to buy vans and buy cars and to like share road trips. So if you're going by yourself, you can easily just jump on in another vehicle. There's also like dozens and dozens of tourist activities and attractions, plus amazing nature. You can get like all four seasons, so you can do like volcanoes, you can do winters, you can do beaches, you can do everything in New Zealand. So
It's a good place to road trip.
oh yes.
My second place will be Bali, where that was like so high on my list forever, and I went once last year, and then I was like, we have to go again, so I went back like 2 months later, and it's so beautiful. The food is out of this world, like so many amazing fresh vegan restaurants everywhere, and it's hot, which I love. There's monkeys everywhere. The culture is great, but it's still like not too big of a culture shock. It's still, you feel comfortable and it's easy to get around, and there's lots of travelers, so lots of cool people to meet, and it's a great place. It's like a spiritual place, and it's surfing, just everything. Bali is so high, I think, on everyone's list of either places to go or places to go back to.
I'm going to throw this one out there. It's a little different, and not many people I know personally have gone there. Paraguay. It's one of my first trips, and if you are looking for a cultural experience specifically, and a place where you can spend at least a few weeks, I would recommend Paraguay. The culture there is very different than any other place in South America. The people are incredible. It's very much a country about people and community. So if that is what you're looking for, Paraguay is the perfect choice.
Depends on how you feel about it, but China. The first time I went to China was in 2010, and it was like one of the most craziest experiences I've ever personally done. It was so different than anything I've experienced. And then I went back again a couple times, once in 2014, once in 2015. it has changed so much. It's become so much easier for tourists to get around, to travel in, and it's so cheap. Just China in general is really opening up to tourists, and it's becoming a lot more. There's a lot more like knowledge out there, and English knowledge too, to help you get around. And there's just some amazing, incredible places.
And the history in China.
And the
There's
history.
so much to see around that.
And
Yeah.
just amazing buildings. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
My third place, I would say, is Cuba, which
Nice.
is hard. I guess, like, different people, it's easier to get to it than others, but that's all changing right now. But go as soon as possible because it is kind of about to change drastically. But we went about a year and a half ago, and it's like time travel. Going to Cuba is literally traveling in time. There's the cars, and no one really speaks English, which I love because it's actually like the country is just what it is, and then you're as an outsider just seeing it. It's not made for you, you know, like a lot of other tourist destinations are. So it's just you dance salsa like all day, every day. The music,
The streets too, right?
yeah,
Dancing
on the streets. The music, like every restaurant has live music. That's one of the best like performances you've ever heard ever. It's just. Yeah, just Cuba. Go to Cuba. Have you guys been to Cuba?
No.
I have, but I haven't done outside of the resort, and I know that's
Yeah.
a totally
Yeah.
different experience.
So now, because we are travelers, where do we want to go in 2017? So like kind of like a destination of choice for 2017.
I'm gonna say Ethiopia, and this was just like kind of like a recent realization. Someone mentioned it, and like it clicked. I was like, I need to go there, and I really want to experience the tribes of Ethiopia. Like spend a minimum of like 1 week just living with them and seeing what their daily lives are like. I think that would be a really cool experience.
Destination, oh man, it's been on my list for forever. Maybe I'll do it this year, but India. I want to
Yeah.
go to
Yes,
India.
girl, yes.
Like I'm
Yes.
just dying to go. It's like been number one on my list for so long, and I just haven't gotten around to it. So maybe 2017 is the year that it's going to happen. But just the culture, I love the food already. I love the culture, and I just know that there's so much to offer for me, just personally and as a traveler. So like that's very high on top of my list.
Mine is kind of recent, but Madagascar. I really want to go, especially after watching Planet Earth. That's like what really sparked it for me. But I guess knowing that, what was it, like over 90% of the plants and animals in Madagascar are only in Madagascar.
Wow.
So it's almost like its own world. Like it's just its own little island just full of these like crazy, beautiful, amazing creatures. And yeah, I think it just sounds so different from anywhere else I've ever been that I want to go experience like the nature and the animals. I love animals, so I just want to go see all the cute animals. And
Galapagos is also kind of similar,
yeah.
you know, like a different world, and animal lovers.
yeah,
It's a place to go.
You would love the Galapagos.
my list is so long. Guys, you can't keep telling me things to add to the list.
Yeah. The great thing about travel is that the adventures really never stop. There's so many places to see and things to do.
Well, I think those are some amazing recommendations for you guys and gals to kind of get some ideas in your head if you're thinking of going traveling in 2017. And if you have any recommendations of like wicked cool places that you've been to, please let me know. Let me know down below in the comments. Thank you so much, Raya and Kristen, for joining me. Don't forget to go check out their channels and subscribe. They're wicked awesome travelers. And we did 2 more collaborations, one on Kristen's channel and one on Raya's channel. So I'll leave links in
videos.
All right. Bye. Bye, guys.